yell at you.
Recording is on.
Okay, there we go. So while I'm talking, since I've been channeling for like the last 2.5 hours, I'm already in the zone, right? I just have to like blank out. And it's funny, like while I'm sitting there talking to you, this grandfather vibe pops through, and he's like, hello, just like that, very quick, very fun hello. And I'm like, and you can feel it, it's like a wave, and I'm like, oh, this is a man, like I know what this is. And hang on, let me get in here, this, you miss him so much. Says he makes me play your voice. He's like, I miss you so much, and like makes it go back and forth. He's like, how are you doing, sweetie? Just like the best ever. He's like, he's talking about like coming up to see him somewhere. I don't know what this means, and it's like repetitive. He's talking about, I guess it's at work or something. I have no idea. And he's talking about how he keeps putting you as a little kid. He keeps putting you as a little girl. Keeps putting you as like 3, 4, 5 years old, and like having you run up and like always very excited to see. He's just replaying this image in my head over and over again. And so obviously that means y'all were really close when you were a lot younger. He's talking about how he's totally the grandparent. It's like, I'll give you a treat, don't let your parents know. Like that's what he's talking about. He's like, I'll give you candy, don't let them know. I'm like, grandpa. He's like, wait. He said, I didn't mean to leave you so soon, but I had to. I was like, I get it. Let's talk about that. He's like, you don't need to see an old fogey die like that. He's talking about how like you like not seeing him die or something like that. He's like, you don't need to see me like that. He's just making.
He kept saying that he was dying, that he didn't want me to be there, and he kept saying, you don't need to see me like this. That's exactly what he was saying. And he always used to say, like when he would sign off his emails, old fogey and practicing chocoholic. He always called himself an old fogey.
Really?
He did. And it's so funny. I haven't heard anyone use that term since he passed away.
This is what happens when you channel. Yeah, so you'll have to just stay with me when you're vibing. Like, this is those words. Remember I was talking about words and phrases, they'll just come out. And that's part of it. And like there was this one time I was channeling this girl, and the grandfather comes through, and I just said this because one of these things you had to. I was like, he says, say hi to the little bean. Say hi to the little bean. I swore the girl thought she pooped herself. She goes, that's what me and my husband call our daughter. That's her name. And I'm like, oh, well, he's saying hi. Like, she's like, how do you get that? I'm like, it just happens. Wait. I guess this is coming from you. He's having me. I guess you wanted to pick his brain more, or like you wanted to pick stories from him more. And you're like, God, why don't I have that? Why is this like this whole thing? And he's like, listen, been around. He's like, I could be around to tell you. I don't know if you'll pick it up. Like he's just laughing about this. And he doesn't believe. I said, well, didn't you write like a grandfather's knowledge book? And he's like, I don't believe in that stupid shit. And I was like, okay, nope, you didn't write that, did you? He's, oh, where are you at? Where are you? Hold on, not you, him. I don't like to be cold. He doesn't like to be cold. I said, where are you? He says, I'm outside. I was like, what are you doing? I said, why are you wearing a jacket? I don't like to be cold. I'm like, okay. It's so random. Hey, wait. He's all into like working on everything, tinkering on everything, messing with everything. Very analytical brain, very analytical, seeing how things move, work, like stuff like that. He even feels like he could be military at some point, like way back then. Like, perfect. Yeah, he has that vibe, like very analytical. And I'm the only one that can make it get going. Like he's very like all about me. I love him though. And he's wait. You went up to see him anyways? I asked him, I said, so how does it feel? I said, so she didn't get to say goodbye. She didn't see you. And he looks at me, he goes, and I go, oh, so I pass the look along to you. And he's talking about how dumb it is. Not that you saw him, but like how people get old and how they deteriorate into nothing and how we, feel pain for them at that point, because he's looking at himself now and he was like, I felt bad for myself. Like I didn't like this. I didn't like the situation. And he's looking back on that now and saying like, it was just a moment. It was just a moment. Like, that's not who I am. He's actually being very enlightening with me currently. I'm like, oh, this is it's like I'm taking theoretical physics or something. What? This is so random. She's talking about you being the smartest. You're being the smartest. She's gonna go far. Were you in like media or journalism or something like that for a while?
Not really, but I would talk to him a lot about like reading and writing. The year that he died, I was taking a lot of those classes in school. I would tell them about it because I didn't want him to think about dying, so I would tell him about all that stuff.
Okay, because he keeps showing up like writing and like journaling and like all that stuff, and I'm like, why are we bringing the? Okay, because that's one of the last things y'all would discuss and talk about. And he said, I want to go into what happened with him. Hang on, let me vibe. What happened with you? Hold on. He's talking about having like all sorts of issues. He's talking about like, he's making me go, so it's like something lungs or like coughing related or something like that. He does like this, so it's something affecting the heart. He does like, he's talking about things just shutting down. I think he's like making a reference to possibly they thought he had cancer or something like that too.
Yes, all of those things.
That's so random.
He was like the Iron Man. He had like 3 heart attacks. He smoked his whole life, so his lungs were messed up. He had like leukemia when he was younger, but it was like stagnant, so like it wasn't like, it was really slow moving. He had everything, and he lived for so long, even though he had all these health issues.
Holy crap, that's cool. Yeah, I'm like, he goes, that's so, because I always ask him and I'm like, how did you die? Or like, what was the cause of death? They're very, very specific. And he's like, well, makes me feel that. I was like, oh, okay. And he's on my ticker too, and I'm like, all right, your ticker. And then he's like, they even a little bit of cancer too, and I'm like, what? How do you have all of these? Like, what does this go for?
It was like a cocktail.
It is. Yeah, he's like a cocktail and a cockroach all mixed in one. It always keeps going. He said, hold on. Have you made a book of his emails to you?
No, not a book, but I do have some of his emails that he used to send me.
Okay, there's something about, he's talking about taking writing, printing it out, putting it into a book or like a scrapbook or something like that. So I don't know if that's a thought of doing that or what. Or maybe I'm putting that thought into your head. You should do that. There you go. He's talking about, hang on. He's like, you don't have to hear me tell terrible stories at the dinner table anymore, do you? And I'm like, stop. And he's talking about how, hang on. I really want you to like name a cat after him. That's so random. I have no idea why he's associating that with it. Like, it's like name, I'm like, kids, like there's no kids involved, right? There's none of that. That's why I'm like, and he's talking about, because I asked him, I was like, oh, does she have kids? Did we name anybody after you? Like, they love you a lot. He's like, no kids. And he puts down like a cat. And I'm like, is she naming a cat after you? Is this what we're doing? And I'm like, it's like an orange tabby in my head for some reason. And so I'm like, maybe you get a cat and maybe you name it Herb. I don't know. I know that's so random, but if that ends up happening, you need to email me because I will freak out. Hang on.
I'm freaking out because I've been trying to convince my boyfriend to adopt another cat for months.
Really?
Yeah, for months I've been trying to get it.
And it's a male. It's going to be male, like this whole thing. So FYI, when you will get this cat, like, because they don't bring up animals. Can you name it Herb?
Yeah. I am.
Please. And send me a photo like that. Because it's just like, we're not going to have kids like that, right? And so he's just like, oh, no, this is fine. Please do that. Please do that. That wouldn't, that's the first time for me ever saying that. That was such a random sign all put together. Hold on. Wait. He's like, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about me anymore. He says, oh. He's talking about the boyfriend. He's like, better say yes, sir, and no, sir to me, son, like that. And I'm like, stop. And he had a little quiet one, isn't he? Hang on. I watch him. Wait, so she never met him? He never met him?
Oh, he did.
Okay, because he's like watching him, and not a bad way, but he's like, I'm watching you. And so I don't know about that. He's talking about, hang on. Stop. Y'all have been together long enough to like quote unquote settle down.
Yes.
Okay, so he's trying to get me to convince you. He's like, he goes, you know, they've been together long enough for them to settle down and have a family, you know? And I said, some people just don't want families yet and want to get, you know, married and all that stuff. Like, it's not, he was just like, And that's why I asked you, I was like, y'all been together long enough to settle down. I'm like, hang on. He's talking about how you're a free spirit. I like it. I want to do your chart for you and your boyfriend too later and just see like how that works out, because that's very interesting. Somebody has mad Virgo vibes here. I don't know who it is. Somebody is mad, and we'll get into who that is. Somebody, it's interesting. I want to go. He's fine, by the way. He's wonderful. He's a great guy. Don't hold on. I'm asking him about stuff. I'm asking him about his stuff. And he showed me all sorts of like little knickknacks. He showed me like everything from like little guns all the way down to like little I guess like little statuettes or something. Like he has a bunch of like knickknack shit everywhere. Like that's his thing.
I was telling he was a hoarder.
Yeah. Like I'm going through.
He had so much shit.
Yes, because I'm like, what about stuff? And he puts me in this room that is just like piled, and I'm like, oh, it's just everything. And hold on, he said he was sad. I don't know why he'd be sad. He's talking about, I said, why'd you hoard? Like, what is that? He's like, sad, like these things became my friends. And he's just like, well, I didn't throw them away. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, never got the time to get around to it. I said, okay. He said, did he live by himself?
Yes.
Okay. Because I said, what about wife? He's like, it's hard living by myself. And I was like, oh, okay. He said, wait, did his wife die?
Yes.
Oh, this is the other. Oh, okay. Sorry, this is where I get enlightened to my own self. I go, so you were divorced. He was like, it's hard when your spouse passes away like that. And I'm like, oh, hang on. Give me a second. Hang on. Now we're going to switch. You're going to see like, I'm so excited. Hold on. Wait. Wait, so Betty and Herb are married?
Yes.
Okay. So, what just went on in my head? I hear a woman's voice and it says, hey, honey, like, hey, honey, like that. And I'm just like, who is this? And I look at I was like, oh my God, this is you. Cause like the face matches the picture in my head. And I'm like, oh, they're married. Like, this is it. Hang on. It says, God, such a different vibe than him. She is, wait. She has this like richer tone about her when she talks. It all goes together. Hang on. It says, hey, wait. She's like, they haven't seen me for a while now. I thought that I didn't know you were talking to those people. So it's always interesting because he's bringing her in. I'm not bringing her in. And so she's like discussing what is happening. Hang on. wait. She comes down and she's like, I love you too, like, baby, like talking to you. And then she's, God, you were young when this happened. Young. Because she's like bending down for you. Like, that's the whole thing, bending down for you. And I'm like, okay, so this is younger age. She says, she comes up to him and she's like, I was telling you had to take care of it yourself, you know, like laughing about it, like, ha ha ha. She's, wait. Oh, they hold hands. And she says, I guess I just didn't have enough time with you, did I? And like, you could see the compassion in her eyes and you could see the compassion in his eyes. And she goes through and they're holding hands. And it's this very loving, like, he sat with her. I don't know what's going on, but he just keeps showing like him sitting with her. I guess she was chronically ill, or was she sick? Okay, because he's there and he's just showing me like this hospital bed setting with him sitting next to her and how much he loves her. And I didn't want to let you go, baby. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like, that's why I'm doing that, because I'm like, I can't, if I start crying, I'm gonna stop channeling. What? She's talking about it didn't beat you, but it beat me. Did she have cancer as well?
I don't remember what she had. She was really sick. She was on oxygen and she was in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what it was that she was sick. No one ever told me, and I guess I never asked.
It's okay. Find out and let me know, because she's it's interesting you said oxygen, because the entire time we're talking, all I'm hearing is this.
Yes.
That sound. And so I'm like, all right, something's going on with her lungs. She doesn't show me in a wheelchair. She just shows me being fully bedbound the entire time. And he feels like he let her down when she died. Sorry, this is like all coming together right now.
It's okay.
Hang on. Ooh, yeah. Oh, they're golden. They're golden. She's like, I love you. We're together. Like, he watches out for you a whole lot. She's there, but it's almost like she's like, oh, come on in. Stop playing outside. Like, you know, she's the one that's taking care of the stuff. He's your guard.
She passed a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't know if you'd be able to channel her, because it's been like 15 years.
Oh yeah. So you were little. Okay. Yeah.
I was like 7 or 8. I was really little.
That's why she's bending over to kiss you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's whatever. So they always show me different ways. They don't always say like she's 7, right? But like with this, the way she does it to show me you're younger is you're running up to her as this kid, and she's like this. And so that's how I know you're a little kid, because she's not a very tall woman to begin with.
No, she was short.
Exactly. Because the way, that's why I'm like, all right, everybody's short here, so everybody's little. See, wait. What? But and you know what? I do not like doing signs, because everybody has a different sign, but butterflies are a thing for her. 110%. I don't know what the hell is going on with butterflies, but like they're every fucking where. What's happening?
Well, like one specific thing, before my grandpa died, there was, we all went to, my mom and her sisters and me, we went to their house and we were taking pictures, and we're like, we haven't taken pictures like this together in forever. And then all of a sudden this like monarch butterfly is in all of these pictures. And my mom said at the time, she's going to totally flip when I tell her. She goes, oh, hi, Mom. She's really going to die when I tell her.
That's what she shows me. And I'm like, okay, so for me, like every sign is different for a person, because they do it for you, every one of them. And so like the generics are just not my thing. But she literally, I'm sitting here and it's like in my mind's eye, I'm standing around and she has these butterflies flying around my head. And I'm like, all right, butterflies are a thing. This is a thing. So just know that like legit is them. Hang on. Wait. I want to see if I can get something for your mom from her. Okay. That's where, give me mom's first name.
Cindy.
Okay. Hang on. Give me a second. Let me see. She does tell your mom, she says, you've raised a good family, Cindy. Like, give yourself more credit.
Oh.
It's just straight up, straight up. She wants her to like, I'm guessing mom is still working.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Cause she's talking about having her take out some time for herself. And that's why I'm like, okay, so she's not retired because that'd be all the time in the world. Right. And so we miss you too. But like you have a job. She really struggles with her mother's passing a whole lot. And she adores her. Wait. For me, there's nothing else you could do for me. Hang on. She's like, just give me a kiss and tell me I'm okay. And I went on into the night. I was fine. She had a pretty, just out into it. That's what she's talking about. She says, she keeps showing me teddy bears with a heart in its hand. And I don't know what that is for. I don't know what that is for. I don't know if that means like, I love you, or if that means somebody has a teddy bear, or if that means just like, I'm just giving you this, but I don't have a symbol for that. And hold on. What are you going on with that? Oh, you and are mom and dad still married?
My parents never got married.
Okay. He's still around though in the picture?
Yeah, he's my dad in my whole life.
Perfect. Okay, because she's going up and she puts them in a bond. That's why I was like, okay, they're married. And she comes up and like pats him on the back, and she's like, oh, he's a good man, like that. Like just coming up and giving him some love. Says, she comes up, she grabs his hand, and she's like, don't worry, we're here, we're fine. And does mom still have like her clothes or like blouses or something like that?
I don't know.
Okay, ask about that, because she's talking about, oh, you can throw those away. And I'm like, I don't know. Somebody has like her shirts and like there's no point to keeping them. She's like, you can throw them away. Like, okay. It's nothing about like holding on or anything like that. And she, wait. Everybody thinks you're absolutely brilliant. You're so smart. And that's like the first thing I hear all the time about you is so smart. And for you, there's this vibe. This is just what I'm picking up about you personally, is that there's this vibe that you have to be somebody that helps others, but you're in more of like a position of power for it. So for me, that would be like head of hospital administration, or like head of media marketing, or head of nursing, or like head of that. Like that's where you need to be. You need to be in an area that you can help people and drive and get them better, but you need to be the top of it. What are you doing right now?
I actually work in like a call center. I just started, but at my old job, I was the head of the cosmetics department.
Perfect. So so all the way through. Okay. Yeah. You have to be that. You have to be that. And I don't want you to be in, hold on. You would also be, but you're telling me that you're not smart enough. And I think that's bullshit. But, that's just in your head. You would also be really good in like research, like science research and stuff like that, getting all in those things. And I'll tell you about it, because whenever you look into things, like you really, really look into them, right? Like you really get into them. That's a whole nother thing. Hold on. So another weird thing about like getting into like being an esthetician itself, like that's a whole nother thing. Like but like the Botox filler line area.
Yeah.
Like getting into that. So, cause it's like, you have to do it. You're helping people, but you're the head of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, what I want you to do in closing is, that's a lot of stuff. And there's so much more. They absolutely adore you. But what I want you to do right now is take 4 or 5 minutes before you go into the rest of the world. And I want you to have a good breather, or I want you to have a good cry, because they're a lot of energy. It takes a lot. And you just have to kind of like allow them to move out. Another thing with this is that tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to tell them thank you. And I want you to tell them that you love them, because what happens is that they come through and they give us all of their energy to work with. And then we're the jerks and we don't give anything back. And so we have to do that too. Okay. And do you have any questions for me at all too?
I don't. I miss my grandma a lot, but I really miss my grandpa all the time. And I think I love that man more than I've ever loved anyone in my life. And so
I know. I know. The feeling is very, very mutual. And I can tell you, people always say, get over it, right? Or like, don't miss them or whatever it is. The person that you loved unconditionally and they loved you unconditionally back was ripped out of your life. It's okay to grieve and it's okay to feel that way. But then, so if anybody ever says that, tell them to go fuck themselves. Another thing with this, though, is I want to let you know that love is very much reciprocated from the other side. And that's why things are going to plan. But give yourself a little bit more credit. Okay. Push a little bit harder because you're good, but keep it there. Like you have like this hardcore spark about you that I don't actually see in a whole lot of people. It's really nice. So just be on track. And then if you have any questions for me or if you need me, just email me.
I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Allison. I love you, baby.
I love you. I watch your videos all the time. I love you so hard. I love all of your videos. I especially love your cooking videos.
Thank you. Well, the cooking ones will be back. I had to take a moment because
I know, but I did see the one you just posted about the pudding. So
that was I didn't have time to like shoot everything and edit and everything. So I was like, I'll just do it in app like that, like all in screen. So those are coming back. I just need to give my body a break for a little bit because it's falling apart.
Yes,
so, you get it. So let me know, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.